So we have a great announcement today for a Nintendo Direct, a surprise announcement that kind of slapped us out of right field, and I am very excited for it. And no, I don't think it actually has any impact on possible directs in September, but that's okay because it's a single game direct that might even be the September release, and we'll talk about that. But more than that, folks, we have updates. Some unfortunate updates on some stories we have covered in the past, including yesterday, that just adds further context to conversations and creates a greater debate over how coverage is handled on the internet. But what isn't debatable is that we are getting a Kirby Air Riders Direct tomorrow. It's in the title. We're super excited. We're going to dive into that and show you guys what's going on. And it's a really long direct, so this is why I think it's probably the September game. But before we dive in, if you're enjoying the coverage here and you like the transparency that we like to provide, even when we get things wrong, I would appreciate if you would subscribe to the channel as we're on our road to 160,000 subscribers. And let's go ahead and dive into this because, well, this was posted on Nintendo today, and we'll show you that I'm not bullshitting you because the Direct is already up. It says Direct for tomorrow, Kirby Air Riders. Does this mean the September game? And you can see Kirby Air Riders Direct, 8/19/2025. Tune in Tuesday, August 19th for a live-streamed Kirby Air Riders Direct featuring about 45 minutes of information about the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 game. You can obviously register it on the calendar, which I did do, but just to show you guys that I'm not bullshitting and this actually is something happening, here is the actual YouTube page set up with it. It's happening at 8 a.m. Central tomorrow. We will be live stream reacting to this, of course, along with Opening Night Live. So it looks like we have a day of streaming tomorrow, right? 3 different live streams. Probably not going to be any videos tomorrow. We'll be covering Kirby Air Riders, we'll be covering Opening Night Live, and then obviously my night stream. So yeah, we just have a lot of live streams tomorrow. It is what it is. It's the summer of giving, and Kirby Air Riders 45-minute direct. This really excites me, and I do think that while we don't know for sure, this does feel like it's going to end up being the September game. Why? Well, the last time Nintendo gave us news via Nintendo Today was Dragon Drive. They gave us that update last month for a release this month, and now they're doing a big 45-minute blowout, which would make you assume this game is coming fairly soon, and we don't have a game yet for September. Now, I know it's Mario's 40th anniversary next month, but that doesn't mean Nintendo's actually releasing anything in September. Usually Nintendo, when they do these anniversaries, they don't just celebrate them at once. It's usually a prolonged, sometimes year-long event. So just because there could be a 40th anniversary direct potentially next month doesn't mean that there's anything actually releasing next month related to Mario. That could be for future months, dating all the way into 2026. So we just have to keep that in mind, that there could be some NSO stuff like a Mario 40 or something that drops, but don't be shocked if even a Mario thing does drop next month, but it's something like Galaxy 2, but it's for the Switch, because Kirby Air Riders is for Switch 2. That being said, folks, we don't really know. We don't even know if this is coming in September. What we do know is we are getting a 45-minute blowout of Kirby Air Riders. Sakurai did say we were going to see gameplay. He thought soon. You know, we didn't realize soon was going to be within days. So this is really exciting stuff. So excited to see what this game is all about. And it's a Sakurai-made game. You know, Sakurai tends to bring the goods. You know, I can't remember the last time he didn't bring the goods. But we have an update to a story we talked about last night. We talked about this possibility of Resident Evil Requiem being on Switch 2. And I want to be clear, that is still a possibility, but I think we now know the image that Zach from Switch Force was talking about. I don't know if this is the same image his source took or if his source took different images, but we now have this image. It's been all over social media. Here's Resident Evil Requiem seemingly at Gamescom, and here are those Switch 2 demo kiosks. Now, it's notable these demo kiosks are still on the pallets, so this probably isn't their final location. Also, you can see there's this giant, like, Resident Evil Requiem is inside this area, and these are not inside this area. Now, the inside the area does look blank right now. They're still building things out. So these Switch 2 demo units very well could be intended to go inside the area. In fact, this paperwork over here, I kind of wish the camera would focus on that, because that probably has the whole floor layout for Capcom at Gamescom. So these demo units very well could be for Resident Evil Requiem, and they could be going inside. They could also be for something that's outside of Resident Evil Requiem. And this is because we have to note that Capcom already announced what demos are going to actually be at Gamescom. So I've seen some people saying, well, maybe these demo kiosks are for like an older Resident Evil game coming over. That's not the case. We already know what all the demos are from Capcom because they posted it back in July. So they posted this back in July, and they're in Hall 9. They have demos for Resident Evil Requiem, Pragmata, Onimusha Way of the Sword, Street Fighter 6 Years 1-2 Fighters Edition, and Kinitsugami Path of the Goddess. It is highly likely that there are demo units for Street Fighter 6 1-2 Fighters Edition for Switch 2. That's almost a guarantee that there will be demo units for that. The question is, were the demo units that we saw in that image for Street Fighter 6, or were they for Resident Evil Requiem because they were right outside of the Resident Evil Requiem area and maybe just didn't get put inside yet. Again, this is already confirmed. These are the demos Capcom is bringing. There's no additional demos being brought by Capcom, at least publicly. So, yeah, those kiosks, again, I'll show you the image one more time. Those kiosks are either for Resident Evil Requiem or, in my opinion, Street Fighter 6 1-2. So, you'll have to let me know what you guys think. Of course, this is just an update. This isn't saying it will absolutely not be for Resident Evil Requiem. We don't know, but this is just additional context that was missing from yesterday's story. Now, that's actually going to do it for this video. I had a whole nother topic going on in this video, but it went on so long that I'm actually going to separate that out and make it a separate video from this one. It's also a bit of a somber video, and I don't want it to damper the excitement of this one, right? Our update on the rumor yesterday, which is still really exciting for this week. And yes, Kirby Air Riders. Can you believe that we're getting Kirby Air Riders? Like literally a massive blowout from having essentially no information other than 2025 and a CGI trailer to we're getting a massive 45. We're going to know everything we need to know about Kirby Air Riders tomorrow. That's why I really, really, really strongly believe Kirby Air Riders is coming out soon. Okay, let's bat this up. September. That's what I'm starting to believe now, because why else would they do a massive blowout right now if it wasn't going to be coming soon? Now, obviously, it being 45 minutes means it couldn't fit in a direct, right? Obviously, the amount of information I have to share here goes beyond a standard general direct, but to me, you're only doing this because it's coming soon. So we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, you know, what did I say? Wake me up when September ends. Because when we get to the end of September, Kirby Air Riders could be in our hands, and a General Direct, and the Mario 40th Anniversary Direct, and we might be looking forward to a future Metroid Prime 4 Direct. Man, are we going to get an Age of Imprisonment Direct as well? Like later this year? That would be really cool. Is this... One thing I do like is Nintendo seems to be doing a lot of individual game directs. Let's think about this for a moment. We had an individual game direct for Mario Kart World. Didn't excite people more, but whatever. Then we had an individual game direct for Donkey Kong Bonanza. That got people super hyped. Now an individual direct for Kirby Air Riders, which again, I feel like is the next big game for September. Probably going to get an individual game direct for even Legend ZA, possibly. Metroid Prime 4. Is this going to be a standard from Nintendo? I like this standard if this is what they're setting. All of their major releases get their own individual directs. That is something I could definitely get behind, even if it's always like a month before the game comes out. I don't care. I can get behind that. Holding the release dates to the last possible moment. Well, let's say we do hear Kirby Air Riders next month. That's really exciting, but also, damn, I wish I would have known sooner. But whatever, you know, it is what it is. I like being able to plan out my future. I made a whole video on this where I can plan out things, not just at the channel, but in my real life. Time is precious. Time is very, very precious. And I have to schedule my ability to play games around launch. I can't just drop everything for it. I have responsibilities. So like many of you guys do, you guys have responsibilities as well. You got to get off of work. You got to maybe put your PTO requests in or use sick leave if you need to. Or maybe you got to plan your vacations or whatever. You got family events, right? There's a whole lot of things going on. Obviously, we all have busy lives. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Nathaniel Robojans from Nintendo Prime, and I'll catch you in the next video.